Uh, okay, this is our first streaming, and on studio uh, from HNT Ancient Art Studio. Uh, we have got many works perfectly made, of which I believe that the World International Poverty Day was based, established, and created uh, to end poverty. Never mind who's in the bedroom there. The noise is so enormous. These are public. Normally, this is from the surviving institution called Palace One. Palace One, as you can see, has a limited space and is beautiful enough. And uh, all of this military interference uh, being carried out for many days now. Look back there, you see, it's one religion, one state religion. It's an institution. It tends to classify people and then give them certificates every year that we can increase police. Despite we are defunding police, we are still trying to create police that are naturally citizens who are now uh, well entrusted. Is a shadow of the actual gathering. And then the actual gathering, according to what we used to teach here at Armstrong University, I've been a chancellor. I've not once actually stepped into Citadel of Learning. I'm not appointed vice chancellor. We also intend to, here in America, Virginia, we're still at P1. Though the journey, we have to take our immediate environment, build it to a state, a standard uh, that we can trust. And at least we have heard more from Secretary General um, Antonio Guterres of the United Nations. I'd like to use the opportunity to go back to issues before the joy into the world, where we have different members coming from the space and then using these their opportunities to actually um, encourage, give human more integrity of what we can achieve. Without whispering too much, we've got a huge economic development. We've got a huge government setup. Never mind, there are some few things that we need to look into. There are a lot of things we need to ignore, and there are certain things that we must not ignore. There is nothing in life. There's nothing in life that is made doesn't have fall away particles, whether it is vehicle, it will begin to have emissions. Whatever it is, whether it's human, it's sweat. Something must be weighing out in the economy as we have is to fire hundreds of staffs. You don't need to say because they are permanent this, you don't need to say because they were kings. You just need to remember that you need to fire them, set them more the way they should be. I think right now we are already at eradication of poverty. We began in the 42nd week of the year, and then we've got already Sunday to be the beginning of the week. So what are we able to achieve on Sunday? On Sunday, we have been able to achieve uh, a point of taking Israel up. In the Earth Constitution, I've been able to take few articles to reality, and then I am confident not in a group of people that I should begin to mention them because they had not replied many years ago and many times ago concerning their own interests in the government that we have at hand. So therefore, today I had drafted a few statements concerning how to work peace between nations. I have today, Monday the 17th, yesterday, after we could not find anything to do on Sunday. I could not attend my mom's church in a legacy. I could not as well have opportunity to drive to the Christmas catering, which is called in the house of God. That is the one projecting a form of religion, which now has a class of 1 year, and then who are to register themselves that they are actually taught properly the word of God, that we can now give them certificates. There's not yet if they should have a specific certificate before they can church. But it's based on the everyday announcement of the birth of Jesus Christ. As in every day, we announce the birth of Jesus Christ. And that is a welcome development. It goes on about his life, what he actually come to the earth to do, and then the powers that he wrought as we, as members of such, we have the power to heal. We have the power to open the blind eyes. Immediately we have accepted him, we have begun to have power to heal. It is the first thing that he gave. The power to open the blind eyes, the power to heal, the power to repair the economy. So we set to walk in that shadow, which the original figure of it is about the Lord Himself in heaven and the souls. To say, where do our souls go? Are we existing with our own souls? Are we having our soul in the hands of God while we exist? Is the Lord Himself, is He alive? Is He with us? Is He in us? Are we the Lord? Our responsibility and our Christmas everyday sermon is so interesting. Unlike the one we had 5 year at somewhere where it was strenuous, but we could come out clearly. As president and military head of state, it's not about United Nations. It's about interesting bodies. I'm not saying that I've not given instruction to UN on how to utilize its it is going. Actually, I want to see they are going. I know I'm their head. I want to see how they're going. I want to see where they're going. I've seen a similar responding of de facto members to support my administration. Monday 17th, yesterday, of October 2022, International Day of Poverty Eradication. So I suppose that we still believe that is day 2 of the 42nd week, of which Jeremiah 1 says that people are beginning to come. So I was looking at how will people come. So I said it's better I establish a place where people can come freely. And then what can we do with them? What can we achieve with people who come freely? I said that must be a university, despite they come around through God. So I then look at what is at Armstrong University, Virginia, 100 Equine Streets, 236 and 9. I said maybe uh, they are calling me to come. Then I have to say, let me do the will of God. Not that you're asking me to come when I have to begin to say, I want to bury my mommy I want to bury my daddy, but that I want to do the will of God. We have a 167 million point seven for every day for the next 6 years, which I have automatically added an extra 366 billion naira, of which now for 12 years. I'm going to as well add more. I see that this is an opportunity. It's called the windows of opportunity, but it's basically a global gateway. But we could not get into that gateway or see a reason why that gateway is important. So God gave us a verse. He said in the book of Luke 2:24. And he said it so much that we can now begin to think about the Lord and the souls. Just like Luke 9 56 talks about to us the day Peter Buditi begins to have his birthday on the 15th day of October. He left 55, he became 56. And I said, this is a 9 month I've been remembering that he was well incubated and then born. He now is 56. I said, you are a good secretary of transportation. Don't you think you and I can work together that I can have a vehicle? And you've been thinking about that. That's good. America can be a country that actually go around with its ministers and secretaries to bring peace. I'm a man with just a laptop given to me, and I fund it, and I pay the internet, and I work so hard to get it. And I know that I not wanting to touch federal budget fund for my own personal salaries, it means that I have not actually paid anybody's salary for more than 37 years and so on. These are the struggles of the factors. The factors are not people that actually can get into the government easily, but they can create a profile that can encourage people to come from the little shadow around them to create the authenticity. I said I took a step into the closest council around P1. This is P1 to move the world forward by defunding the police academy. Due to I just trekked down there without an executive journey entourages to both the Christmas catering and the local government Royal Military Council, which is I now shifted away from Bada Street. I shifted it back to Ikotun, Igodo. Ikotun means to face righteousness, to face the right thing to do, which is to appoint, to have a king, to have prince, and to set up royalty, and to make God the host. I don't want to make mistakes in Jeremiah 41 that says that they were creating hosts. We cannot create hosts. Revelation says that when they were trying to create hosts, it said that the saints, they gave their ten, they gave the power to Jesus. So there's no way they can be hosts. All they'll be doing is that they'll be against the king, especially when they are demonic kinds. They don't respond to issues for every 40th and 41st week for more than 37 years and 5 months. So there's not going to be hope in them. The best thing is what? To take drastic step as de facto. These are the things de facto faces. I legalized no other clothes to be worn into both the local Royal Military Council and the Christmas catering. These are gathering shadow, as Secretary General called it, to that of the Economy and Financial Crime Court headquarters at Ijebu North East Local Government, which I should just make it the West North East Local Government, which is the northern part of Nigeria, the western part of Nigeria, and the east part of Nigeria, which is now mainland, the North Mainland, the West Mainland, and the East Mainland. That if I put them at the Economic Financial Crime Court headquarters, we then make that place Head local government, some say heaven local government, and all that. It's all good. But the first thing is the northwest east local government because it's actually what shall be completed if you want to actually complete the rates of the nation. So the rate of the nation had overstayed its welcome. So I have to bring it in again so that it can now face the economy and financial crime matters, which I have created a cost system for it. With this few life that we are going to have first from the ancient art studio, we thank you all so much for listening to our financial analysis that actually got to do with what did you spend remain as FCT Abuja, which will have shifted to Lagos. And if you are shifting to Lagos back to Abuja, it should take you nothing less than 6 months. That is what NASA wants. But they were dodging NASA. I don't think they were really dodging NASA. They were only trying to attract them and then disgrace them. But what we have on ground now is that there is an estimation of something more or less, like I've previously analyzed, and then they are working towards those financial records, and then we have to move a ledger estimation that when I am able to have a $100,000 from whatever is remaining in the budgets of this country, mainland. Now is the fifth day since time, and now there's yet no income. And God began to be more wicked, more stressful at them, and then it's all good. And I don't want to talk deep into their currencies. I only want them to understand that there's a cement, a single bag of cement out there, and the price of that cement should have been 506, but it's not. It's now about 4,620. Due to that, like seven dollar is the amount of one bag of cement in America. A single bag of cement in UK is £15 for the 5 pence, and so on. So we are able to sell it in a half price, but the exchange rates are taking exactly 659, my friend. It means from 1959 or 59 years ago, better still, 59 years ago, the sixth zone, Abuja, had never had a governor general. And I, their governor general, now is speaking. Look at the plans that I have. How much you have left? Let's spend it on critical issues, but let's make sure that we are able to ascertain the daily mini budget. It is to assist the spiritual so that we can now face the physical. Now that we now seen it all, there's nothing spiritual. There is only something about the fear of God that brings wisdom and the understanding that brings the law, and then the knowledge that brings about the endurance of the praises of God. These are the things that we must focus on if we want to have it. As Governor General, I can promise you that people will fear God right from that holy monks. And then people will understand God if they keep to the laws that I give to them. I'm telling you that this fear of God will bring wisdom. I'm telling you that if you set up a praise of your leaders, you will actually have knowledge. And that's why I have to pass documents to available defense ministry through this live broadcast. Only God knows those who go out there and do them. They will bring it back to me, and they'll be bringing a walkie-talkie. They'll be bringing a Mercedes. They'll be bringing all kinds of vehicles. But majorly, that Oma out there. It shows how respectful they are now the fifth day. This is Tuesday. A day well, I'll be checking in Virginia, the Armstrong University, and how you see me already trying to conclude the sketches of government to paint them, bring out life in them, and then give it a permanent or a memorable image. And then we have more things to of Lagos, the state of excellency. We have much things to having been governor general of the continent, Africa, and the rest of the world. So we have a direct government into the mainland Nigeria, Abuja, which they've had a 660.7337 59 about those issues concerning deducting £1 if naira is equivalent to pound in the 660.733759 will give you a six zone with a 59 years of not having a governor general again, and 59 year now that he'll be having the governor general. And this rank is trying to be struggled along with me by Alihu Baba, the IG of police, who was born in March 1, 1963. He is 59 already. And I ain't saying that he shouldn't. That actually had given people like I prosperity. But it's me that defines that as administrative state. If you want to be employed, you come to P1. And because it's getting too late, I ain't got interest in you. You are just presented, but you did not apply. So you cannot have it. The God that called you wants you to apply. If you apply, I'll give it to you. I'm already the Minister of State, and I am looking into the Constitution to at least create a state religion, because what God had planted at the Economic and Financial Crime Court Arena, West, Northeast local government, Ogun State, is going to create a state religion. So the best thing is to tackle the Constitution once and for all, to directly change them without minding Muhammadu Buhari. And you can, I swear, change them by minding Muhammadu Buhari. We are all Nigerians, and then I am a sovereign chief of the universe, and I believe that I could just bust in, but it's not good to do that. We have to go through the section of the constitution that talks about the president is able to do what he want to do as long as he's in power. When he's out of power, all those things that are not in the constitution that he had done, such as calling himself the minister of petroleum, they are very wrong. Constitution says that the president should not have any other duty apart from just being concentrated on the constitution. Also, the constitution says that he can as well do anything he want to do as long as he is in power. And while he's out of power, those things he does outside the constitution will be eradicated. So we can test run. We can test run. He allowing us to actually have a governor general. If I propose it to him as a senior, he does that through that means. I am not forcing him, so that we can go to the general provision in the constitution that says there is no state religion. That will fix a state religion, which actually is something that comes in between Friday to Sunday, and which is the death of Jesus in the grave and the resurrection. And then where Quran 355 talks about Jesus as the supreme, and whatever he says, let us do them. Allah will not intervene in anything when the head still exists. I will intervene when the earth no longer exists. Is then that who are then the souls the Lord has said in Luke 2:24. It is for the second week that they will now come to God. Like we are coming to Buhari, like we are going to the village, global village region in this windows of opportunity. So we cannot actually establish the gateway program. It was not establishable. And the day we should have established it, we could not have a mobility from P1 to attain it. So we have to switch to the windows of opportunity. And that is where we are right now, with the same close expenditures of time. So therefore, we could not just bring up a 366 billion, but we brought it up because we have the 366 days. So we then analyze for 6 years, and then we have it divided by 366 for 1 day, for 1 year, and for 6 years. We have a day now 167 million pounds 700, and that 700 is equal to an exchange rate 4,620, meaning that one single unit among that 7 units is 660 in exchange naira to pound 0.733759. This one I talked about the 73-year-old King Charles III and the 37-year-old I, and my responsibility to take up first a governor generalship, which I said is not under the British rule, but according to Romans 10 1 to 21, the riches of the Lord, which God also points in that Romans 10 21 verses 3, rather, that Israel has a zeal for God, but not according to the will. So that's why, as head of state heads military, I said in the second article that it's all about to checkmate Israel and Palestine. The gospel we are preaching actually grew from Palestine, but Israel is a people that is enslaved, that now God had freed them to dominate. They should not forget the ongoing powers in Palestine. I also want on the third article that those nonsense that are going through the brain and the eardrums are outdated technology. They're not properly used well. So I cast an article and spell it on them, remind them that Abraham had crossed them many years ago. They will never reach the top, they will never establish, and they will die. They will die unto the sword. They are the actual people who God said they will die unto the sword. So, to cut the long story short, there are hundreds of opportunity everywhere. There are issues of judiciary everywhere. This is Tuesday. As Minister of State, this is my first time coming on to here. I have issues in Barbados. I have issues in Australia. I have issues at Vote High in Ghana. I have issues at Darfur in Niger. I have issues in Cairo, at the Kemes in Egypt. I have issues at Gaza in Israel. I have issues at Philistine inside Israel, at Ashod inside Israel. The West Bank have issues there. I have issues with the war courts in Israel, moving from 28th of August, Sunday, 2022, moving steadily 6 years into Israel and leaving behind Princess Catherine, Justice Princess Catherine Leah, and she's having great deals there. She will be 19 December 7th. He's still 18, and we have a lot of issues assisted through NASTA to get to where we're going. And I'm very happy that Antonio Guterres, the polarized Secretary General, on the top, well, just swimming around. And then I believe that he's so much concerned about the state of P1. P1 actually survived, and it is bringing the rest back to restoration. Actually, we got enemies, and we cannot kill them except through the word of God. And then there are those who broadcast like I did now, and then majority of them will be stoned to death. They have to put on their military uniform worldwide. You can see the uniform wearing that's a uniform. So I know that they must be able to emulate, they must be able to have muscles, they must be able to gym, and they must be able to cut their hair short. And also, although, and then we are very grateful on this 28 minutes and 50 seconds, in this 29 minute now, that every glory return back to God. So don't forget what I just described to you, that we're going to move out of Abuja from FCC ground to the shadow state here, and then we shall move straight through Lagos, Kingate, and then we'll move out. We'll step to Abuja. We maintain ourselves. Because I could use probably a 3 or 6 days to build the Heptagon 7 gun. It will take time to make sure that the enemies are killed, we reduce poverty, and then we're able to actually remember that the World International Poverty Eradication Day, I moved into the council and this Catherine, Christian Catherine, and then the rules and regulation, the rules that must be on whites. And the question still goes on that what about if you're soldiers like me, military like me, in my uniform? How do I put on whites? matters are still in its Senate, of the World Senate. I still say that I'm insisting that you cannot actually wear any military uniform in there. But as military officers, you have your ID cards on your neck with your white garment, and then we all go ahead and march. I wish you all. And don't forget, we have only 3 articles as of the world constitution, and the one we have next to move matters from a loyal and compassionate defense system, to me, and then as head of state, through my partner King Charles III, the Majesty of the Commonwealth and UK, including Ireland, Scotland, North Ireland, South Ireland, England, Wales, and all of them all together. And then to the Senate and the Senate President, Donald John Trump, and his deputy, Chu Homer, and to the House of Rep, Nancy Pelosi, the ongoing Speaker of America, also polarized to the Military Leadership Act and government administration. And from there, we then take it to the Good News YouTube. It's the only channel that broadcasts the 8th federal government ship, which I commissioned yesterday. I wish you all good luck in all to do. They will do that in broadcasting for a good 7 days on how this issue I discussed is going on. We have a 10 billion to be deducted and ongoing budgetary for this year, and Nigeria, let them do how they want to do it. Knows that Bangui is waiting for something, South African Republic, and AU is about to commission them to realize them only if that one bag of cement out there is the beginning of the journey. What is the price? Why the exchange rates? Why is it coming down? Through reselling land to the people. That's why we named the country mainland. It's a new name. I wish you all good luck.